All right. Good morning, everyone. While we're waiting for a few folks to join, I'm Sari Rybar. I'm an events manager with the community involvement team. And it's my pleasure to welcome you to today's coffee and conversation with our industrial energy experts. We are so excited to welcome you today and to host this event where we'll be highlighting PSE's Industrial Energy Management Program. We'll give folks a few more minutes to join, but for now I wanted to review a couple helpful tools in Zoom, as it may be new to some of us. Throughout the event, we'll be using both the chat and the Q&A function. So if you don't see them, go ahead and move your mouse and hover over the toolbar at the bottom of your screen. You should see a chat and a Q&A button at the bottom. And go ahead and use that chat at any time. But if you have questions throughout the event, use the Q&A. We'll be able to get to those questions live throughout the event, and then also save some for follow-up at the end during our Q&A session so that our experts can answer those live. And as a reminder, this event is being recorded. So following the event, you'll receive the recording and it will be posted on our events page so you can rewatch it at any time. All right, so today we will be introducing our industrial energy management experts, Alex and Chow. We'll go through a safety moment. It's part of our culture here at PSE, so it's important that we bring that to every presentation for the public. We're going to be touching on program offerings, and then we'll go through our question and answer, being able to respond to any questions that you may have about the program or anything else. We'll cover some case studies and customer experience, and then we'll wrap up letting you know how you can get in touch with us. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Outreach.
Thanks, Sari. My name is Scott Harder. I work in the Customer Outreach Group. I represent Snohomish and Skagit County here, and we have several others that represent throughout our service territory, but I'm here to talk about our safety moment, which is wildfire smoke safety. So fire season is coming around the corner. Everybody remembers last year in late August, early September. That was pretty grim, so don't wait to prepare. And did you know that smoke from wildfires contains chemicals and fine particles that can harm health and exacerbate pre-existing conditions in sensitive groups? So there's steps that you can take, and you can track the air quality in your area. Airnow.gov is a great resource that can tell you about the air quality throughout our region. You can also minimize your time outside when conditions dictate. I think everybody remembers that last year when it talked about the different groups that were allowed to go outside. And then, of course, when inside, keep windows closed, run air conditioning on recirculate. And of course, in that picture there, I saw many people doing that last season, utilizing air filters with your fan so that you don't just kind of throw those particles throughout your home. And with that, I am going to turn it over to our presenters today, starting with Chow.
Hi, so my name is Chow Chen. I'm the engineering supervisor in business energy management. So I've been with PSE about 18 years now. So I work with a lot of different customers and a lot of industrial customers for sure. So I oversee the industrial energy management program, and also, so that's a program we're going to talk today. Also oversee a large user self-track program. So I'd like to thank you for joining us today. I'm very excited to have a conversation with you all on the program. Now I turn to Alex for his introduction.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alex Semino-Hurt. I'm an energy management engineer and a program manager here at PSE. I've been with PSE for almost 5 years now, and I manage the program we're going to be talking about, the Industrial Energy Management Program. So without further ado, why don't we dive in? So today we're really talking about offerings we have targeted at our industrial and manufacturing customers. And they're really designed and they're here to help customers improve their energy efficiency and to lower their monthly bills. And we do that through some more conventional methods like capital project grants. But then we also provide ways for customers to identify O&M type savings through site deep dives. And then for customers that have long-term strategic goals for energy savings or even say carbon reduction at their site, we have a strategic energy management program we'll be talking about. Next, we'll have Chow talking about our capital projects.
So that's the capital project grant is one of the component of program. So capital projects really focus on, you have a equipment replacement or you want to upgrade your system, could be a control upgrade in your facility. So the simple way to look at the programs is very straightforward to look at the cost of the project and also look at the saving of the project. If you look at it, if you know what kind of saving you get, you basically can multiply 35 cents per kilowatt hour or up to 70% of project cost. Or for gas saving will be like $5 per therm saving up to 70%. So there's a very significant incentive could contribute to your project. You can also assign the money to the contractor working with you, so you don't have to really have, budget the actual money for the project. That will be a great feature in the program also. Then I'll give you an example as to what the program will look like. So next slide, please. So there are a lot of things you can do, to improve energy efficiency. So for example, you can put a variable speed on the fan, or replace the compressor with the variable speed compressors, or you can upgrade the controls of those things. Could be a great project for you. So for example, if we have a project, you save 56,000 kilowatt hour a year, and it costs you $20,000. And so if you multiply 56,000 kilowatt hour by 35 cents, and also look at the 70% of the cost, whichever is the small number. So in this case, will be 70% of the cost of $14,000 grant. So the way we look at it is that that if you really know how to estimate the saving, and obviously you can do that, but if you need more support to help you to analyze the savings, we can also provide engineering service to you and also help you develop a project also. So we do have other resources we can support you, like, we have engineering service contract. We contract with to support you to develop project, and also we have in-house engineer can help you develop projects. So let's go to next slide. So how to apply for the program, I think is very straightforward. There's application form as show here. The most important thing we look for from you is that your contact information and your account number, obviously, so we can look at your building history and that kind of thing. But give us a brief description of what your project's about. Sometimes you may already done analysis about the saving. So if you have that information, you put in the form here, or the cost of project you can put in. But if you don't have that information, don't worry about it. We can figure out what those values are later on. If you have a project already developed, if you have any documentation, you can also submit to us. So you can download the application form from our website, as shown here, or you can request it through us so we can send you the form to fill out. So now I'll turn to Alex for other part of the program.
Now we've talked about capital projects, and that's something that most people are familiar with. We're going to talk about two other program offerings that are a little bit less common. And the first one here is ISOP. This is really targeted at helping customers optimize operations at their site. And so rather than buying expensive equipment, we're going to be helping customers tune up their systems, adjust set points, and save energy through low and no cost O&M type savings projects. And the way we do this is through a two-part site energy audit that provides hands-on guidance, a site energy model that we developed to record the performance of your site and document the performance, and then you earn an incentive based on what you were able to accomplish during that time. Next slide. So who's allowed to participate in this program? Well, we want programs that will, customers that will likely see a return on this effort. So it's customers that use more than 1 million kilowatt hours at their site or more than 50,000 therms. And of course, they need to be industrial or manufacturing type businesses. And then in terms of commitment by the customer, you'll need to be able to show up for a 1 to 2 hour scoping meeting, the first part of that energy audit. And then of course, 1 to 2 day site deep dive where we can really dig into opportunities. And you can't have participated in ISOP in the last 5 years, of course. And then, just to reiterate, this is really for low and no cost measures, as we'll see in a case study I'll talk about later. So any project costs that tend to be more than 5,000, they'll need to be pre-approved. Next. And this should look familiar. How to apply? You get to use the same custom grant. And just like Cal said, do your best to fill out as much as you can, but otherwise send it in and we'll help you kind of fill in any details and get back on next steps. So let's talk about the other program offering we wanted to share with you, and that's of course strategic energy management. Some of our customers that are a little bit further along in their, we'll say, energy journey, they've done a lot of their capital projects, and maybe they've even found some tune-up opportunities at their site. But now they're really trying to dive deep and develop an energy team at their site so they can sustainably and consistently meet maybe energy savings goals they have. And in order to do this, you have to train up a team. So we have a program that offers that. And go to the next slide there. And the way this program is designed is to help you train up a team over the course of 6 months. And you'll be doing that with a cohort of other industrial customers. Now, these are not necessarily going to be customers that are kind of directly in your specific industry, but they will be other manufacturing industrial customers. And we find that mix of customers tends to actually produce a good peer learning in the teams. Then, of course, we'll do a site-specific training and deep dive where your team will be doing a Kaizen or an energy deep dive event at your site. We'll, of course, do site energy modeling to track your energy performance. And then you can earn milestones for key accomplishments that you've done, and milestone incentives, and, of course, performance incentives based on how much energy you save for 3 consecutive years. And that can earn you up to $25,000 per year per performance year. Next slide. So this should look very familiar now. And there's a reason we're repeating this because, of course, it's the same grant, or the same application gets you access to all of these different projects. So custom grant application, you can get it at the website and email it to us, or you can ask us and we'll send it to you directly. So now we're going to have Chow talk about a new offering that we're kind of piloting that's focused at small manufacturing customers.
Yeah, so for this program, we basically designed it for the small industrial customers. So we call it Comprehensive Small Industrial, or short for CSI. So this program is very similar to the capital project offering, and the key difference in this program is that you have to be a smaller customers So like using 1 million kilowatt hour or less, and also or 50,000 samples or less to qualify in this program. How they work is that besides look at your capital project saving, we also look at, the other things that like Alex had mentioned before, like O&M saving, because we cannot really do a program that's more not cost effective to really do ISOP for that kind of operation, and maybe, the ISEM is not necessarily the best application here. So we want to package all those three things into one offering. So next slide. So for example, if you have a project, okay, you're saving, 15,000 kilowatt hour, cost $20,000, the air compressor project, for example. But you can also look at other things you can do while you doing the capital project, maybe, reduce air leak or maybe, control the air compressor a little bit at the lower pressure or something like that. Then you can saving extra energy. Then you can add to your capital project, and we also calculate the incentive at the same rate. So basically, this program is more generous than the other offering in combination, because that, if you can save extra saving by doing O&M measure, and you add to capital project, then you get your incentive will increase, and then will help you offset your project. So this program is really designed for that, and we always can help you, look at O&M saving, also to provide some engineering support to help you to really look at besides just doing the capital improvement project at the same time. So next slide. Yeah, so basically the same application form we already talked many times. So I guess, the application form really to help us to keep track of the project, also, get you contact information, account number, really help us to accept the project. So really important to send us the application form when you have a project. So now I turn back to Alex to talk about a case study we have. Alex.
Yeah, so it's always good to talk about what these offerings are, but it's even better to talk about what your customer experience has been with these programs. So we're going to talk about a particular customer, LKQ Corp, who participated in the ISOP program. They're up here in Bellingham, and initially they had participated they had gotten a lighting project grant. And then they decided to go a step further and find other opportunities at their site and to do an ISOP project. So here's some kind of basic facts about them. They're a good-sized facility, 75,000 square feet. But this project was able to really accomplish some really neat things for them. So in this case, they saved over 13% of their annual energy consumption, which amounted to about 15 grand in energy cost savings. And as you can see here, the implementation cost, the costs for them to chase this down were only about $1,200, of which 100% of that was paid by this program. So, how did they do it and how did they feel about doing it? I think are two great questions. Well, they participated in the program, they did the two-part energy audit, and it really helped them both, identify opportunities and prioritize projects, what to do. Here are some examples, adjusting key set points, changing operational habits, and of course, the quintessential repairing leaks throughout your system. And then you can see here's a lovely quote of Mike Allen's about what their experience was in terms of just really bringing the expertise that we have and matching it with their expertise that they have on their site to help them identify action items and then to chase them down in a reasonable timeline. So I think they really got a lot out of it, and I hope that you all as customers will too. So next we're going to have Scott take it over.
All right, this is the fun part of the meeting. We're going to spin the wheel. Let's, here we go. I'm gonna spin it. So go ahead and in the chat function here, please enter the letter corresponding to what you think is the correct answer. So, which program requires a business's portfolio to collectively use more than 3 million kilowatt hours or 150,000 therms or a combination of both annually? Is that A, ISEM, B, grant, C, ISOP, D, CSI? Let's give it a few seconds here. Let's get some answers here. We've got an A. Come on, you got a 1 in 4 chance here. All right, let's go ahead and show the answer. The answer is A, ISEM. All right, let's try and spin that again. All right, gas savings incentives. How much incentive can you earn for gas savings while doing an ISOP project? All right, this could be a tough one. A is 32 cents per therm, up to 100% of eligible costs. B is $5 per therm, up to 70% of project costs. C is 8 cents per therm, up to 100% of eligible costs. And D, $20 per therm, up to 70% of project costs. So let's get some guesses in here or correct answers. We had 100% correct answers that last question. Let's see what else we can get here. This is kind of a tough one, right? We've got an A coming in. It's 32 cents per therm, up to 100% of eligible costs. Anyone else want to give it a shot? All right, I guess not. Let's go ahead and see what the answer is there. Answer is C, 8 cents per therm, up to 100% of eligible costs. All right, let's spin it one last time. Program rate. Which program offers an incentive rate of 35 cents per kilowatt hour saved? All right, this is an easy one, guys. Let's do this. A is ISOP. B is capital and CSI, C is ISEM, and D is none of these. Yes, cue the Jeopardy music. Come on. I want, let's get a lot of attempts here. Everybody participate. Or a few. We've got a B. We have a B, which is capital and CSI. One more attempt. Just want to see one more answer here. C. All right, that's ISEM. Let's go ahead and show the answer here, please. It is B, capital and CSI. Awesome. All right, hopefully everybody learned something there. We will move on to the next slide. So we're going to go through the Q&A here real quick. So you can use the Q&A box if you have any questions. We can have those answered for you here live. And if we don't, so there was a earlier question about sending us the link where the application for capital projects can be found. Luckily, that's a pretty easy link, which is just pse.com. Now I'm forgetting that one. I don't see the answer there.
/ custom grant.
Thank you, Alex. So there's nothing here open. I'm going to go to some of our frequently asked questions, and we'll start with, let's see. Are gas transport customers eligible for custom grants? Which of our panelists can answer this one?
So I'll take that. The answer is generally no. If they, of course, are a gas transport customer and a PSE electric customer, they could earn an electric grant for electric savings, but currently gas transport customers are not eligible for custom grants.
Thanks, Alex. I like this one. Can PSE help us look for projects? I don't know where to start.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely possible. And if you'll remember, two of the offerings that we talked about have that built in to their process. So with ISOP, with the ISOP project, there's a site deep dive, or the two-part energy audit we mentioned. And then, of course, with the Strategic Energy Management Program, that is also the case. When it comes to just trying to look for capital projects, we can help with that too. We can arrange, during, one of the things is, of course, during the COVID-19, that reduced the amount of times we're going out to customer sites because we want to keep people safe. But we can certainly arrange to have a meeting with you, go over your energy systems, and suggest and make recommendations for potential projects based on what's going on at your site.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex. Let's see. Can we pursue multiple energy efficiency grants simultaneously?
Oh, this is a trick question because the answer is yes and no. There are certain offerings where we don't want you to be doing things simultaneously. So, for example, you can't be doing an ISEM project and an ISOP project simultaneously. However, if you're doing an ISOP project or an ISEM project, you can still pursue capital projects. It can make things a little bit more complicated when it comes to assessing your energy savings, but often in either of those programs, you find good projects that you want to jump on. So you can definitely pursue multiple capital projects at the same time, or an ISOP project and a capital project, or an ISEM project and a capital project simultaneously.
Got it. Yeah, that is a trick question. So what if I'm a business and I'm going through some of our program offerings and I see that we offer incentives or grants for a project that I actually already started or completed? Can I apply for a grant on that project?
Chad, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, so in most cases that will be very difficult for us to do, and actually, the reason we offer incentives to really encourage people to implement energy efficiency project, right? When the project's done, and a lot of time we really cannot do anything because we cannot accept a baseline, and there's no way we can, very difficult for us to retroactively say what kind of saving would that been and those things. And it's really not the program designed for. So I would say, yeah, you should apply the project to us before you start the project, or maybe the best would be in the conception stage, talk to us. We can also help you, look for opportunity maybe beyond what you try to do, and they can give you some engineering support. So definitely you should come to us before you implement the project, for sure.
Great. Thanks, Chow. Let's see. What if I apply for a grant for a project? Is that grant actually paid up front? Will I get that money?
I'll take this one again, Chow, if you don't mind. The answer is no. So these projects are different than your typical rebate, where at the point of purchase, you'll get either a discount directly from your purchase, or you might get a mail-in rebate or something like this. The way that custom grants work is you will go through a process and you'll sign a grant agreement that says, hey, if you carry out this project per se, we will send you and complete it. After you've completed it and you've sent in final invoices and any kind of MV requirements we might have, then we'll pay a final incentive after the project is completed. And that's for capital projects. For ISOP and ISEM projects, they're performance-based. And so you will have to, of course, wait a period of time as you're implementing these projects so that we can assess how your site has performed. Then we'll finalize what the savings are and finalize what kind of grant you earn as a result.
Great. Thanks, Alex. This will be our last question. I think this is probably a very common one, which is how long do I have to complete a project?
I'll pass this one back to you, Chow.
Yeah, so normally we just set for 2 years when we sign the grant agreement. So it's for capital projects. I know for ISOP or maybe ISEM, we have slightly different requirement in there. So in ISOP, we would like you to do it right away if you can, right? So get all the things done when we finalize what kind of opportunity you have, and so you get the saving right away. For ISEM, obviously, is we have a 1 year kind of M&V time, and it's probably better when you learn how to figure out what we tell you. We help you identify opportunity. Will be better for you to implement it right away. So for capital project, I would say we generally give you 2 years time to complete the project, because some projects can be very complex, it take a long time. But for the ISEM and ISOP, I guess all those measures you identify should get it done right away and get the saving. So that's what we recommend.
Great. Thanks, Chow. That will wrap up the Q&A. I'm going to pass it on to Sari with our wrap-up.
Thanks, Scott. Well, I just wanted to thank everyone again for joining us today. This has been a very informative presentation, so thank you to Chow and Alex for being here with us today. As a reminder, this event was recorded, so we'll be posting that event recording to our events page later this week, and we'll also be following up in an email with that event recording, as well as helpful links, including how to apply, and then contact information for our presenters today. Be sure to check out our events website. That's pse.com/pages/PSE events for future PSE hosted events, and we'll look forward to seeing you all again soon. Thank you again.
Thank you.